Alright folks, here's the MR2. It's actually running now, and I've taken it on a couple of rides now that the axles are in, and I've been kind of playing with the auto-tune feature of the Mega Squirt, so that's been pretty cool. It's really fast, and you can change the sensitivity of the auto-tune, and I have it on normal, and even then it'll adjust your fuel table to hit your target air-fuel ratio. But we can get into that in another video. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little rundown overview. I have the stock suspension on it, stock wheels, the tires are completely chewed up, and then the brakes are completely old and rusted through, so I'm going to get those replaced pretty soon. I'm going to go with just a cheap option now. I'm just going to get the factory spec pads and rotors, front and back, just for now. And then eventually, once I get wheels and I start really working on the tune and getting up higher speeds, then I'll worry about getting some nicer discs and pads, maybe even some caliper upgrades or something. I don't know. But for now, this will do, just to get them brand new set, front and back, and being a little safer on the road. I did fall victim to the front sway bar mounting position breakage underneath the car, so I took that out. It doesn't take very long. It took me like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes to take it out. That's the front sway bar, and that's the driver's side, and then passenger side. Mine decided to break on the passenger side. If you can see here, that little section is part of the unibody frame, and then this part actually goes on the inside of that piece of metal. One of these days I'll get it up in the air and I'll show you guys. So it's an annoyance, it's another little setback, but it's something we got to get fixed. Once we get under there, I already have the ST suspension front and rear sway bar kit coming. It comes with reinforcement plates for that not to happen. And then I got a buddy at a shop here locally. He's gonna build another box section for that corner, weld it in, get my mounting position all back together, new piece of metal, weld it in and everything. So we'll be good to go once I get that kit in. He ordered it for me. It's on the way. It just hasn't showed up yet. Anyway, here's my panel again. All that wiring mess. I'll clean that up eventually. It's not as bad as it looks. Got this beautiful Chinese short shifter. I had to notch out a little edge on the side here to get better clearance. I had to adjust the clutch pedal just to get it to engage a little better, and then the shifting became a lot nicer and smoother. Let's see. Back here, look at that. Temporary solution for my oil cooler. Up here, pretty hard to see. There are some screw holes up there. I'm thinking about making a bracket, mounting this guy up higher, and then doing a fan for it, like a pull configuration, so when we get fresh air through the vent, we can get some fresh air through the cooler and it won't radiate around the intake filter. There's my boost control solenoid that I got through DIY Auto Tune. Nice little mounting position. Back here there's a 10mm nut and then a stud. Fit perfectly. I made a tiny little bracket, mounted it to the bracket, and then I mounted the bracket to that little stud. It's one of these. One of those right there. Went up great. Super easy. No vibration. Sort of away from heat, kinda. Let's see. Knockoff HKS blow-off valve. It's working fine for now. Eventually I do want to get maybe a tile and a better intercooler kit. This is off of a Gen 2 I got it because it was only like 140 bucks with everything, couplers, the hose clamps. These are the ones that it came with it, and they're so crappy, but I've been slowly getting these ones from O'Reilly. A lot nicer build. So anyway, I got the piping, couplers, all the clamps, blow-off valve, and it came with intake pipe, charge pipe, or hot pipe, cold pipe, and the intercooler. Intake air temp sensor that I drilled and tapped. This is a GM style. That's what the Mega Squirt really likes, and that's what I went with. Factory throttle position sensor, and then factory idle valve down there. And you can wire all these in through the Mega Squirt. Slowly I'll start making videos on that. Huge leads, because I have my coils in the trunk. I'll show you those in a second. Here is the factory distributor with the cap delete. I wired it in through the Mega Squirt. So right here I'm getting my crank and cam position, or engine position, so RPM, engine position to fire full sequential fuel and spark. And down in here somewhere, oh man, I can't see, dang it, there's another GM sensor right here, this guy, another GM sensor drilled and tapped. That is for my coolant temp, just so you know. I'll try to post some photos here up in the video of what I did with that. Very easy. You just have to move this pipe over slightly just to get that tail end of the sensor in, or the connector. Let's see, going over here. This is the NA throttle cable. All I did was I notched it out right here, so that way I can slide it back and forth. Gives me enough play and enough pulling slack to actually make it work with the Mega Squirt and everything, so works great. There's my idle valve. Top feed fuel rail with injectors, high impedance. That's what the Mega Squirt prefers. You can run low impedance, but you have to run inline resistors for that. There is my Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator and gauge. And back here, coil packs. So these are the IGN-1A that you get through DIY Auto Tune or Amplify, same folks. And yeah, I'll never run out of spark with those guys. RCI fuel tank, fuel cell. It's a 12-gallon, and everything's very easily labeled. It's got a sender unit, fill, rollover vent, fuel return in the center, and then fuel pickup in the middle. There's the Russell 40 micron, goes around, goes into the pump. It's a AEM 380 liter per minute, or excuse me, per hour pump. Feeds into the Summit 100 micron, and these are all flex fuel or E85 compatible. Then that goes into the fuel rail, and then it returns. There's a return with the flex fuel sensor. The cool thing about that sensor is that it actually has a thermistor in it, so it'll not only tell you ethanol content but also temperature of the fuel. So there's that. Factory turbo I had rebuilt here locally from a gentleman. It took him 3 or 4 weeks to get the internal parts, but it's all to spec, and I don't expect it to last very long, but I'm not going to beat the hell out of it. But once it blows, I'll probably go top mount, you know, manifold with turbo, something nice, maybe like a Garrett. But that's it for now. Let me know if you have any questions. I want to start making videos of like all these components and how things got put together and how they went. So let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. And I know it's a monster of a build. It's ugly, but it's functional and it's been fun so far. I've learned a lot. Let me know, okay? We'll talk to you on the next one.